Hey guys, aloha. It's DJ Valerie B. Love, the vibe goddess. Can you hear me? I hope you can. I think, yeah, there we go. Um, I, I am doing this little live stream here about Bitcoin, freedom, and abortion. So these are very important issues that we're dealing with right now, and privacy, obviously. Um, Something that's really near and dear to my heart is my body. And obviously, we've just gone through several years of um, lockdown and uh, these ways that the government has been trying to tell us what we have to do with our body, which is not okay. Um, there's no one easy right answer. That's the thing. It's not a black or white solution. But our health and our body and our sovereignty, and um, if we are Bitcoiners and if we are people who value freedom and privacy, then we must do so in all areas. And we must not be uh, selective in what kind of freedom we like. So, I did a little show last night. My friend Linda came on. Yay. That was really cool to get to talk with her about this subject a little bit. But it is very important that we do not let the government inside of our bodies. And the consequences of doing so clearly can lead to massive destruction. Oops. It can lead to massive destruction of lives. It could lead to death. It could lead to many unintended consequences. And so, a lot of the, uneducated people out there who are saying, oh, just don't have sex or close your legs. Like, you know what? Hi. Um, Husbands and wives get pregnant accidentally, and they don't want to have a baby and they're not necessarily trying. Women get raped and they don't necessarily want to carry that baby. Um, Sometimes children are in utero and they are going to be stillborn, or they are going to be radically uh, disabled. And so never have I spoken to anybody who's had to go through an abortion and said, "Yep, no biggie. I did an abortion. I was just, at Costco, got my abortion, and then here we go." Like, it's the most horrible, painful thing emotionally and physically that a woman has to go through. And so nobody uses it in place of intelligent birth control. So it's typically something that happens and you have to deal with it. And so to me, as somebody who, I deeply value my privacy and I deeply value my personal choice with my body, it is up to us as a community to make sure that we have that and we do not go backwards. Okay. Because that's what's trying to be done right now. They're trying to roll back our freedoms with this abortion issue. And it's a horrible thing to, like I said, have to go through this for any human being. Um, I put up a little snarky post this morning, but it's really not. It's, here's an idea, guys. Like, you've done nothing whatsoever with your bodies to uh, help make sure that us women don't get pregnant when you rape us. So why don't you get a vasectomy when you're young, and then you can go have sex all day long and not impregnate us? And then when you need some sperm, then you can do a little reverse vasectomy and then you can have some sperm and have babies. There's an idea. But clearly, most men are not going to go do that because they don't want anybody telling them what to do with their bodies, rightly so. Okay. And so this is just, I know that this is something else is going on out there. This is some bullshit psyop crap because something else is happening that we're being distracted from. Like, oh, a half a point raise today from the Fed. Thanks, guys. And who knows what else is going on around the world with our food supply and with nuclear weapons, with what's happening with North Korea and China and Russia. So I think a lot of this, there's some distractions going on, and we need to not take our eye off of that. Okay. And so this is a very important topic. And don't take your eye off the ball, because bigger things are happening in the world that are going to impact us greatly. So again, I really wanted to just do this little brief episode because it is something that I want to invite men and women to come on and do a panel. I reached out to Peter McCormick to do a show. You haven't gotten back to me, Peter. Let's go. Let's talk. You're a dude. You don't need to be hosting a show like this. You should come on my show, and we can talk about this, and we can bring a panel of people who are impacted by this decision or potential decisions coming out in that'll be finalized in June. But seriously, guys, like either we're for freedom or we're not. And so I'm curious to see. I haven't seen a lot of the Bitcoin Twitter community, other than a couple women, like in favor of our bodily rights and our privacy, and that bothers me a lot, because I really kind of, either maybe I'm missing it and it's not showing up in my feed, or or people are just kind of being quiet, like, uh-oh, I don't want to talk about that. Or, maybe you're having a conflict of internal conflict because of your religious beliefs. And I understand, like, I really do. I get the whole, don't, if you're religious and you believe in a certain religion, that you don't think you should have an abortion. I understand that can be a thing, and that's fine for you. But don't put your stuff on me. Like, your religion stops at you, and your beliefs can stop at you, and mine will stop at me. So let the law be somewhere that we get to have our own decisions in our own lives, in the privacy of our own homes with our doctors. And so, if you want to have all these other freedoms in life, then you have to understand it's all or nothing, guys. It really is. It's not, I'm selectively interested in freedom and I want to carry a gun and I want to go, be who I am, and don't tell me what to do and don't tread on me and all that. That's awesome. But you need to stand up for us women out here. And so I expect that of you, and I'm watching you. I'm watching each one of you who are proclaimed freedom fighters, and I want to see if you really are. I'm going to be watching you like a hawk, and I will be calling you out if I see you being hypocritical. Okay, so don't do it. Be authentically a freedom lover or not, and be authentically for all of us to have freedom or not. And I'm a big lover of freedom. I am a love warrior. Today is May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. Hell yeah, let's go. It is really, really important that we embrace our warrior spirit and our warrior powers, and that we have a daily practice to stay strong and to stay connected to our power and to our strength. And that comes from our divine connection. Whatever you call God, whatever you call divinity, your job is to fortify that relationship, make it unbreakable, make it unfuckable with. Don't let anybody get in the way of that. I was listening. I have a very wonderful artist. Her name is Sanatam Kaur. And she is one of the most beautiful singers on earth ever. She can make, I've heard somebody say she can make a gargoyle cry. She's got such an angelic voice. Well, I saw a post of hers today on Facebook, and she was talking about Yogi Bhajan, who I used to do Kundalini yoga teacher training, and I'm a certified yoga and meditation teacher. And I did this whole practice. And what happened was, toward the end of this certification process, the very, very last thing that I had to do, I had to go to New Mexico to this white tantra retreat with 2,000 other yogis. We all had white, do-rags on our head, and everybody's wearing white, and we're all chanting and doing the whole thing. And something very dark fell over me. I just knew, like, something's wrong here. I don't know what it is, but I've been practicing. I've been doing this practice for over a year and a half. I was studying every day. I meditate, I chant, I pray. Yeah, it's great. But something, I woke up the next morning after I did the first deep day of this, like, okay, 1 minute or doing fucking chanting for 25 minutes, staring at somebody across the way. The next morning, something just said, get out of here. And I'm like, huh? I want to, should I stay? There's a couple more days. I can still hang out and do yoga and meditate and pray with all these hippies, And it was just a very loud and clear voice that was like, get out. And I'm like, okay, I will. And I was sleeping. I had my minivan. I was sleeping in my minivan at the time. And I got out. And as I went and got gas at the bottom of the hill, totally stone cold sober, haven't been, drinking for years, no weed, no psychedelics, no nothing. I was like pure meditation goddess, put some gas in my car and I start driving away. And as I'm driving out of the gas station and starting to get onto the highway, all of a sudden this like weird ass energy literally felt like it was grabbing the back of my back. I don't know. I've never had this experience in my whole life ever. And it felt like it was twisting and trying to pull me backwards. And I'm just like, what? And I'm like, I'm driving, And so I'm just like, fuck that. And I start just kind of doing this like, get away from me energy. And it was a very strong energy. It literally felt like somebody was grabbing onto me and twisting me and trying to pull me backwards. So I was just like, mm-mm. And so I just kind of did this weird thing. And the entire drive home, it was probably a 6-7 hour drive home. I was crying. Of course, I was very upset. I started thinking about aliens. And then all of a sudden there was like an alien billboard, of course I'm in New Mexico. So I'm thinking of Roswell and all that. But so it was just weird. So there was just some kind of psychic window, energetic window that was open. Mind you, I've been studying and I paid a lot of money to do this training and become a teacher. And I never really researched Yogi Bhajan before. A girlfriend said, go to this class, there's music and it's going to make you feel better after your divorce. I'm like, great. I need anything. I need something, So I go and do it. And I loved all the practice. I loved the music. I loved the way I felt. And I was like, cool, I'm going to keep doing this. This is wonderful. So I go, and every time I go, there's pictures of this dude all over the wall. And I'm like, why is this guy's picture everywhere? And I asked my teacher and like, oh, he's our teacher. And you're supposed to honor your teacher and reverence to your teacher. I'm like, okay, well, where are his teachers? Like, shouldn't there be like a lineage of all the teachers that are, the teacher's teachers? And they're like, oh, well, he's got a couple and this and that. So it wasn't ever this like clear lineage of this man. And so that all felt a little like, red flag. But I kept going forward anyways, because I was having short-term gratification and I was feeling stable and healthy and sane. So those were important ingredients in my life at that point. And so fast forward to after I get back home, I talked to my teachers, my two of my teachers who were the yoga teachers. And of course, I'm very upset. I'm like, what's going on? What is this energy? And they're just like, oh, it's just the practice. It's working through you. You're having some shifts and it's stirring up the dark energy and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, no, I'm like, something else is there. I don't, that's not it. I don't buy that. And so sure enough, I started doing some more research on Yogi Bhajan, and there's all these different reports and cases of him sexually abusing his students. One case where a woman had to get an abortion, and he forced her to get the abortion. Yogi Bhajan was married with kids, by the way. And so this spiritual leader impregnated a student a disciple, a devotee, whatever, and then forced her to get an abortion. And this was back in the early 70s. Uh, that's not cool. And so I was like, why would, and then of course I brought that up to my teachers. I brought that up to my yoga teachers. And like, no, those are just some disgruntled people and they're, whatever. And I'm like, let me tell you a secret about a disgruntled person. A woman who's been raped, a woman who's been molested, a woman who has been violated, the last thing she wants to do is go put her experience out on the internet and make it up, and get attention. It's a horrific experience. Okay. And so women don't make that stuff up. Okay. And I just trusted the women. And this was interesting because it was in the summer of 2018. So it was before all the Me Too stuff. So this whole energy of the world was happening with this vibration. And I trusted my gut. I was just like, something's weird. And I kept going back to this yoga studio. And the teacher at the time, who I really, until that point, really looked up to and respected, and she started treating me very differently and very poorly and very like shunning me because I was questioning the great leader. And so I stopped going. I stopped going to that place. And I never stopped practicing. I still sing and I chant and I pray and I practice yoga every morning, and I practice my devotional practice with my personal connection with God. And that is a magical, wonderful tool that has saved and changed my life now and forever. But it was really a bummer because I was listening, so circling back to Sanatam Kaur. So Sanatam posted a thing about her experience. So in 2020, right before COVID was going on, this is when all the shit started hitting the fan with Yogi Bhajan and that whole community and the abortion and everything. And so I'm glad that he's dead. He died because he would be hopefully in jail, for what he did to these women and these people, and especially as a spiritual leader. But Sanatam she just said she's been in a cocoon for the last 2 years. 2 years of her life now. She has suffered because she devoted herself to this rapist and this man who was an abuser. And you know what? So I wrote her a long letter this morning, and I was just like, you know what? I feel you. And I know what it feels like to feel betrayed by a spiritual teacher. And I know what it feels like as somebody who's been raped and molested. I know exactly what it feels like to feel violated. And it sucks. And it takes a long time to overcome that. But the thing that has helped me overcome it is your music, Sanatam. Your voice and your love and your heart and your devotion and your sweetness and your truth. Your true connection to spirit and God and love is what has helped me survive and to become the strong woman that I am today. And so Sanatam Kaur, thank you for saving my life with your music, even though it stemmed from a relationship from an abusive person. It has blossomed into something gorgeous. And I want you to know that. I really want you to know that. So I was pulling a card earlier, and I was like, I was going to do this podcast or this live stream half an hour ago. And I'm like, nope, I'm going to do it. I need to go compose myself a little bit and meditate and pray and get a little nourishment in my body. And so I did. And so I was like, I'm going to pull a card so that I can kind of get grounded and remember, like, you're here for love, Valerie. You are a love warrior. And I do these podcasts, these episodes, because sometimes, my hope is to serve you with positivity and tools and empowerment and resources for your life so that you can become the best and happiest version of yourself. And that maybe you need a pep talk sometimes. And sometimes for me, I do these because I need the pep talk. And so I think we all need pep talks, But I pulled this card. It's in a beautiful deck. It's this Energy Oracle cards deck. And I was like, help me stay strong and focused and centered, God. Like, I want to be a servant of love and peace. What can I do? And I pulled this card, and it was interesting. It says, it's this woman, and she's all tied up. And so this beautiful woman is all tied up, and it says, all tied up, lack of motion or sense of personal freedom. It says, this card shows a woman tied up with vines around her wrists, body, and arms. Receiving this card represents a situation in your life where things seem to be severely stuck. A major drama may be going on around you, stopping you from moving forward. Or it may be that something technically is blocking your way. Perhaps you're waiting for a contract to be signed or an agreement to be made. I am actually on both of those. But whatever is holding things up, the restrictions may be feeling quite oppressive at this time. And they are, but they're not at the same time. But this says, if it's not technically the case for you, what's tying you up is your own personal stuff. Look at your life and see how you can be your own jailer. Are you tying yourself up in some emotional angst or in a negative habit that you refuse to deal with? If so, it's time to cut the vines and make some serious changes now. You needn't live in your self-imposed jail any longer. So I thought this was really interesting because it was talking about the personal freedom. And I had made this little, what do you call it, title thing, Bitcoin Freedom and Abortion, earlier. So it was perfect. This happens to me all the time. I get these weird hits with the words that I'm just thinking, and then all of a sudden I pull a card. I really do believe, we are these cosmic manifestors and these cosmic magnets, and so we push and pull things away from us according to the state of our vibrational being. And it's important that we practice energy hygiene. It's important that we are mindful masters and we are masterful of our mojo. And so this is a project that I'm working on. And as a love warrior and a mindset mentor, it is important to me to want to practice what I preach and share it with y'all, because it works, if you use it. So yeah, this is not a sparkly show today. This is a very sensitive subject to me, because this is not okay. There was a story I was just reading on LinkedIn about a gentleman who was giving his perspective. Him and his wife, were expecting a baby. And at whatever point along the pregnancy, it was quite a ways into the pregnancy, they discovered something was, going to cause the baby to either become stillborn or be born with just a absolutely debilitating birth defect that they would end up dying, they said, within a week or so anyways. And so without risking the mother's life, they made, and they're Christian, they made a very difficult decision to end the pregnancy, to terminate the pregnancy. That is something that is their choice, that they should be making with their God and with their doctor, not with 9 people in bathrobes who don't know us and are not doctors. It's none of their business. And the very fact that these people have so much power is a flaw in our system. Our system is fundamentally broken, and there shouldn't be this where these people get to decide what goes on with our bodies. And so I don't know how to fix that. I don't know how to recreate our system in the United States, where old people who don't know me can tell me what to put in my body and not to put in my body as an adult, as a sane, adult. So, any suggestions, people? What do we do? How do we take the power out of their hands? It's not fair and it's not right, and again, I am pro-life. I am pro-freedom. I am pro-choice. I am pro-woman. I am pro-man. I am pro whatever noun you want to be. I don't care, but I'm mostly pro-love. And I want you to also remember that that's the ultimate goal here, guys, you know, and if you eat meat, you're killing things. So don't tell me that, oh, you're killing a baby. It's like before it's viable. Okay. That's the term that they use. Um, yes, it's not an ideal situation, but what happens on the flip end to that woman's life, if she's forced to have a baby, is terrible. And so who's more important? An unviable set of cells, or a woman who is already alive and has a mind and is representing herself in society? She has more rights, okay? And she deserves to be the one that makes a choice, nobody else. That's it. And so um you will hear more from me on this because it is an important topic. And if you are somebody who wants to come and talk with me about this on the show, let's talk. Direct message me on whatever channel you're watching this on, and let's have a conversation. You know, um, a reasonable, thoughtful conversation. I will have it with you. You know, um, let's find a different solution. And I'm not kidding. The whole vasectomy thing, they're reversible, and they're not that big of a deal. You have a day where you got to put a little what do you call it? A little bag of blueberries on your balls and you're fine. Like frozen blueberries, got to be frozen. Um, Hysterectomies are a lot more difficult, and they're a lot more complex, and they cost more. And they're tying your tubes, so they're not. It's not as easily reversible for women. And so, again, I'm not suggesting that you guys go do that, but if you're going to try to control my body, I'm going to start to try to control yours with these little ridiculous things. So just again, stay out of my uterus, please. Thanks. Um, but on to other wonderful things. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Let's talk about what's happening with Bitcoin right now. So looks like, who knows what's going to happen? What's going to happen with, they raised the points, half a point um, for the interest. That's going to be interesting. What's going to happen? Are we going to really get this recession that they're talking about? What's going to happen with Bitcoin and adoption? But I was listening to a show this morning with Max Kaiser and Samson Mao and Dennis Porter and Pete Rizzo. And gosh, I forgot the other young man's name. But they were talking about adoption in other countries and how this is definitely going to be rocking and rolling for Bitcoin. So I'm very excited about that. Yesterday, Bitcoin in Lake Bitcoin in Guatemala, they were doing some capturing of, um, uh, I think it was with methane, right, Bill? And they were mining some Bitcoin with poop gas. Yay, poop. And that's exciting. So, I mean, Bitcoin's just going to keep doing what Bitcoin is going to keep doing. And that is really, really exciting. Um, so good for that. And what are you doing today to become a love warrior? What are you doing in your own life to become a better version of yourself? What are you doing to become the best version of yourself? Um, who are you helping? How are you serving others? What are you doing with your divine gifts that you were given? Okay. Use them for good. All right. This is May the 4th. And happy birthday to baby Hero, my friend Tiamat's baby. It's her first birthday. Isn't that cool? They named her Hero and she's born on May the 4th. That is so cool. um, I have got a couple interviews coming up. I'll post them. They're top secret right now, so I can't tell you. But one of them's a DJ. Another one is a cancer surviving superstar Bitcoiner goddess, and I've got some more people down the pipeline. So I'm excited. And then I'm going to be doing a retreat next week, and I'm really excited. It's going to be a little ocean mermaid super goddess retreat. I can't wait to go do some dance your dreams and some meditation experiences with everybody and some manifesting. We're going to have a lot of fun. So until then, let's rock and roll. Let's go see. Here's some. I'm going to turn this guy off. Watch this. Ha ha ha. Captions. I can do this. But until then, guys, you can find me over at at DJ Valerie B Love on all the channels, and also at BTC Peace Music. And you can go to bitcoinpeaceandmusic.com. And I made you guys a playlist of 111 of really good songs to rock your day. And I'm going to be working on this Bitcoiner hub idea. I'm just going to keep playing around with it and building it out and seeing what happens. And I'm going to keep working on my 11x love method, and we're going to have some fun together. So I can't wait to see you guys in person and here and in the digital realms of Realmer Mixon. Right, guys. So, and don't forget, subscribe and share on Apple and Spotify podcast and on Fountain app also. And if you guys want to go get a cold card, you can get 5% off if you go to store.coinkite.com/promo/peace. All the links are in the show notes and the descriptions. So that's it. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. I hope you are knowing that you are a warrior. You are a love warrior. You are the change that we've been waiting for. And we need you. We need you strong. We need you on fire. We need you financially sovereign. We need you healthy. We need you stable. We need you ready to rock. So let's go have some fun. Whoa! And let's go. Sending you guys lots and lots of love. All right. Peace, love, and warm aloha. This is DJ Valerie B Love signing out with the Bitcoin Peace and Music podcast. Aloha.